Yeah, okay. Good Yontov to everybody. You test Kislev tonight. Of course, we're going to complete the Tanya today. Lakuti Amurim. But before we do that, we're going to remind ourselves that all the learning that we're doing has an effect of creating healing amongst everybody who needs a healing. And who are those?
Is to birth then Mariasha? That's it for today.
Tuvia ben Avram, Yisrael ben Yomin ben Leah Gittel, Nevor Leah bas Rus Ahuva Liba.
Rushlema.
Yehudis Golda bas Elisa Hana, Chaim Yaakov Zed ben Sarah, Yosef Yitzhak ben Leor, Shoshana bas Hana, Gary Robert, son of George, Yaakov Shaul ben Hana Miriam, and Yehudit Gila bas Rachaleah.
For Shlema Bekorov.
Amen.
Amen.
Yom Yom. The Tzemach Tzedek writes that the love expressed in Kapitel Tilim, which begins Ve'im cholecha fatzti, I want nothing other than you. That love, which is expressed in that kapitel, means that one should desire nothing other than God, not even heaven or earth, i.e., higher Gan Eden and lower Gan Eden. Nothing compared to him himself. For these were created with the mere Yud. Heaven and earth were created with the mere Yud. Right? That's the beginning of the outpouring of what will become the enormity of creation. It only starts with the Yud, that point. But rather, one's love is to be directed to him alone, to his very being and essence. This was actually expressed by my master and teacher, the Alter Rebbe, when he was in a state of Dveikus, and he exclaimed as follows: I want nothing at all. I don't want your Gan Eden. I don't want your Olam Haba. I want nothing but you alone. Good Yontov, may you be inscribed and sealed for a good year in the study of Chassidus, and most importantly, the ways of Chassidus, Darkei Chassidus, walking the walk. Yes. Lessons in Tanya. Page 393, Quintus Achron, the last essay, so to speak. I call them essays in translation. Over here, it's page 324. The Alter Rebbe is going to leave us with a plea for what he's been speaking about for the whole book, including this Kutresim, which is Torah, Avodah, Gemilas Chasadim, or Torah, Gemilah, and Mitzvahs. Mitzvahs. So, the Pasuk says, you should certainly rebuke your friend. It's a Pasuk in Devorim. So he's going to take instruction from the Pasuk in Devorim for a little warm rebuke. So I cannot refrain myself. Let me just do this 1 second. He says, I cannot refrain myself. I cannot hold myself back from crying out with a loud voice, which is parched with weakness, anus chalusha, weak with parchedness. I plead with you with soulful compassion, in Aramaic. I plead with you with soulful compassion. Have pity on your souls, all of you, us. And guard and be very careful al ha-Torah, concerning Torah, learning, the al avodah shebalev, and on the service of the heart, which is zu tefillah b'kavana, which is davening with intentionality, with all the meanings of kavana, which there are many. The haskil kulam yachad, and he says, operationally, this should be indicated by the fact that when a minyan is davening, all of the people in the minyan should begin together, ke'echad mila b'mila, and should pronounce the words one after another, word by word together. V'lezu b'kah, v'lezeh b'kah, and not that one should be over here and one should be over there. V'zeh daimim v'zeh masiach, and that one person is quiet and the other person is talking sicha b'teila, idle talk. Hashem yishmerenu. Very careful not to allow this to happen. He says the main cause of all damages, is by sending one up to the ark to daven, to the podium to daven, the lectern, shehu hefker lekol, and this lectern is hefker, anybody who wants it. In fact, if you go to a shul often during the week, they're having trouble finding anyone who's willing to go up to the and lead the davening. And it's hefker to anybody who wants it. Livshat raglai, whoever puts forward his foot, and he grabs the honor. And sometimes even is that there's nobody, as I just said, there's nobody there who wants it at all. This is bothering him. Deeply bothering him. Therefore, so the advice that I'm giving and the established fixed way that I want to be fixed, it should be an engraved law and not removed at all, anymore. And what should that be? To pick out, identify people in the kakila who are fit for this, either by lottery or by appointment. And what should they do? They should pray word by word, in a moderate way, with a loud voice, and neither should they elongate it and prolong it more than is fitting. Neither should they just grab it and run. Find a nice cadence, a nice pace, and everybody should be davening together, word by word, in that cadence and pace. And to create an obligation that this person who's designated should go up to the Amud in the day that's appointed, on his appointed day, and he should gather around himself, samach, close to himself, kol hamispalan b'kol katzas, all of the other balik tefillah, all of the mispalalim who should pray in a low voice. His voice should be dominant, the voice of the Shliach Tzibur. They should pray together, b'kol tzas al kol panim, at least in a moderate voice, but not quietly, not silently. And they shouldn't be rushing has v'sholem. As is mentioned, explained actually in the old customs, the Kamman eras that exist in many cities. And I'm coming. You say, I'm not coming to say something new. I'm coming just to renew those old things, and to make them stronger, to reinforce them. That they shouldn't move at all, should be fixed. And they shouldn't move, God forbid, as for Shalom. Gewalt, it says in parentheses. It's written in the Alter Rebbe's handwriting Gewalt u Gewalt. Just an expression that's beyond words. Ad mosayir. So he says, Gewalt u Gewalt. Ad mosayir zelonu lemukash. How long will this be a snare to us, a trap for us? Isn't it sufficient, all the rebukes and all the trouble which is passing upon us? Hashem yishmarenu v'nachamenu. Hashem should guard us and comfort us. B'kaflayim, with the shua in a doubled and redoubled salvation. V'yitar libenu la'ovro b'emes, and Hashem should purify our hearts to serve Him. And here, service means avoida shebalev so far, to serve Him in truth. Haskin ve'amsu, strengthen yourself, fortify yourself, fortify levavichem, your hearts. Kol and yachalim l'Hashem, all of you who have hope in Hashem. Gam ligmar kol hashas. Now he changes the focus a bit. That's all about davening. Gam ligmar kol hashas b'kol shana b'shana. Also, be careful and do to complete the entire Shas, the entire Gemara, each and every year. In each and every city, is to lachalek or lachlik, divide up the tractates, al pi hagoyrel or beratzen, either again through lottery or people volunteer and take a masechta that they're going to learn in order to complete the Shas every year. In a city that has a lot of minyanim, they should complete the Shas, complete learning the Gemara, the whole entire Talmud Babli in each and every minyan. So if a minyan is too small to be able to complete this, so add to a bigger minyan, or take people from the larger minyan, take another minyan, and complete your minyan. In order that this the statute that I'm saying, choik is lashon engraved. This should be engraved, just like the davening he just spoke about. The learning of the Shas each year should be engraved, and should never be and never pass, never stop. All the people who are learning, as we mentioned above, everyone who's doing this, everyone who's learning this, should complete in each and every work a Tanya Api. Tanya Api is the eightfold big Tilim. This is the Tilim that David HaMelech, he does 8 Pesukim of Aleph, 8 Pesukim of Beis. You should repeat this Tilim, which is Tehillim Kuf Yutes 119, each and every week. And if because of the weakness of the generation, now he moves to another level. So we've had avodah shebalev, and now we've had learning, and now we've had tshuva. If a person cannot fast, and I don't know if all of us were here when we spoke about the Alter Rebbe's whole chapter about discourse in the middle part of Tanya about fasting, and that's a subject we'll return to, of course. If you can't fast the way it's possible, so there's an advice, if you can't do the fasts which are proscribed, Kol Hashem and Shabbos Kesachose, Moichlin Le Al Kol Avenasa. Now this is a one-liner that's worth keeping. Anybody who keeps the Shabbos according to his halacha, on the halacha, is forgiven on everything. The value of Shemesh Shabbos Kesachose, keeping Shabbos according to its law. Now, you can't keep it according to its law unless you know the law, unless you know the halacha. Right? It has to keep the law. Therefore, it's fitting for each and every person to be expert in all of the halachas of Shabbos. And also be very careful, and particularly on Shabbos, not to speak any devorim b'teilim. In other words, just speak things of holiness that pertain to kedusha. Because this is known, this is known to the ones who understand the hidden, the hidden knowledges, meaning the Kabbalah. It's known to everybody who knows that. Something actually we didn't really touch on much. That every mitzvah has a panemius, an inner, and an outer. What's the externality of Shabbos? Is resting from deed, the things you do. Right? That's the external, resting from Shabbos. Hashem, just like Hashem rested from creating the physical heavens and earth. He rests in terms of not doing that deed of creation, so we rest. That's the chitzonius of Shabbos. And panemius of Shabbos is a kavana b'tefilas of Shabbos, u'b'talmud Torah. The kavanas that you have in the davening of Shabbos and in learning Torah, that you're learning and davening l'davke b'Hashem echad, to cling to the one God. Meshikosav Shabbos laHashem elakecha. Shabbos also means, of course, return. Shabbos is the time to come out of the mundane and return to your source, which is Havaya Lakecha. V'zuhi b'china zocher, and that's remembering. Right? Zocher v'shoma b'dibur echad, it said. Remember and guard. So here the guard is the externality, the doing, and the zocher, which is remembering, which is inside your head, is the panemius, the kavana. The kavana that you're Shabbos laHashem alechecha, that you're returning to Hashem. Shabbos. Ubechai shemoah, ubechina shemoah, the panemius, and this shemoah, the panemius of shemoah, the panemius of remembering, or excuse me, of guarding, ihashivisa midiburim, is resting, the panemius of the chutzonius. In other words, chutzonius is stuff that comes from the outside, which is deed, but words also come from the outside. And that's the panemius of deeds. So the panemius of the chutzonius is being careful and resting with what you say on Shabbos. B'devorim gashmim, speaking about physical things. Kamei sheshavas Hashem, just like Hashem, when it says he stopped creating on Shabbos, he stopped the act of creation. But what was the act of creation done with? It was done with his speech. He spoke the creation into existence. Sheshavas Hashem miyud maimoras. He stopped from uttering the 10 utterances of creation, with which he created Gashmi, which he created Shemayim V'Oretz Gashmi, the heaven and the physical heavens and earth. Because as the prophet tells us, there's one thing opposite the other. You know, speaking about mundane things is the opposite of really observing Shabbos. And with that, we have concluded, as was Hashem Yisborach, the Tanya and the Kuti Amorim. Okay, comments, questions?
Wow, Yeshikayach.
Yeah.
What number time? How many times is this for this?
Well, that's what I wanted to bring up. This is actually not all of you have been here for all 3 times, but there've been 3 times. Yeah. Wow. 2 of which I think are mostly 1.5 of which are on the internet. So
okay, it's a hazaka. It's a hazaka. You got to keep going.
Well, that's the question I want to pose, and I'm going to put up a little questionnaire. Because there are lots of
willing.
Well, yeah, I'm willing, but there are a lot of people who are not here present in this year. So I'm going to put up a little questionnaire and see who wants to do this either again or do it for the first time. And yes, I'm willing. And if there's demand, so to speak. Yeah, sure.
Well, this parak is like sort of like Devorim. I think of it as sort of like Devorim. It's
right.
like a summary.
So recapitulation in a very
Summary,
short time. Yeah.
there.
So what we're going to do, by the way, I'm not learning tonight. I'm not learning tomorrow. And we're not learning tomorrow.
Then maybe we should start the first part now.
So that's what I want you to do. I want you to start, not the first paragraph, go to the first part where we're supposed to start, which is the introduction.
All right.
And
Okay,
go up to Sunday, when then we'll resume and we'll drop in wherever that introduction
You,
is on Sunday.
Avi,
How come we're not learning tomorrow?
you didn't say the
How
part.
come we're not learning tomorrow? Because I'm hoping to be really for a long time and getting some sleep, and I have to go to work also tomorrow. And
we can learn. We can do it. We can each
You guys
individually
can do
do
it.
what we need to do.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we have to end off with, may you be inscribed and sealed for a good year. That's
Amen. 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 Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Shana Tova.
yeah.
Shana Tova Maseka.
Amen.
The Simcha of the
Amen.
Pneumius. Yeah.
Amen. Yeah, and really have a really simcha de Yutes Kislev, and Kihi Chayenu ve'erech Yomeinu, because this is Torah's Kibiksav of Chasidis, and that's speaking about, literally that's speaking about the Torah in general, but this is the length of our days. Chayenu is our life in the length of our days, so God willing, we'll start again.
Amen.
Amen.
I'd like to say one thing about this, what we just learned.
Yeah.
Because from personal experience, whether you know or not, I don't live in a Chabad community, and I daven in a Breslov shul, and we have a shliach tzibur for Shacharis, same guy, every Shabbos, and he says every word out loud, and everybody's together as long as there's a minyan. Sometimes we have to wait for a minyan for the first Kaddish, but otherwise, because it does start at 8. But I understand exactly what the Rebbe is saying here about the power of davening together and word by word. And you don't see that in a shul very often, very rarely, right? But that's what I experience and where I daven.
That's amazing.
It's like, it's amazing.
I saw it once on one of the trips to Sfat. I was in, and one landed in a Sephardi shul.
It's a Sephardi custom.
Where they're sitting like this, they're sitting along the walls with cross-legged on pillows. And that was what was going on. All together, word by word. Amazing.
Yeah, it's very powerful. It's very powerful, and it's you people are saying it out loud, and you feel it, and you feel it. That's all. It's real. So it's if you ever get an opportunity.
Yeah, or if you convince your little minion to adopt its different style, so much the better. Okay. I guess extra good Shabbos, because I won't be here tomorrow, and a good Yontif.
I thought you're going to do that. I thought you were going to do a little bit of the introduction.
No, we're going to on Sunday. You guys read on Sunday. We'll start together wherever we are. On that day. What is that? 21.
Okay.
19, 20, 21. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 22, I guess.
19, 20, 22. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay.
All right. Shabbat shalom.
Good Shabbat.
Good Yontif. Good Yontif. Good Yor.
Yontif.
Good Shabbos.